Hello, everyone. This is going to be a live read for the Divine Feminine that just needs answers from her Divine Masculine. I feel like a lot of Divine Femmes are kind of in the dark, and it's not fun. And I just kind of want to play a part. I feel very inspired to provide some messages. So here we go. I'm Steph, by the way. Welcome to Real Talk Tarot. I hope whoever joins, this is exactly for you. You know, that's kind of like the beauty of an intimate reading, where it's a small crowd. It feels that much more personal. So let's rock with it. Let's roll with it. And no matter if you were here for the live or if you are going to join hereafter, I'm going to start with the Secret Language of Light Oracle. We're going to get an oracle. And then I got my Rider-Waite and the Aquarian Tarot. And we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what messages come out. Just in readings, in my own intuitive downloads, Divine Masculine's going through some shit. And not in like an overtly negative way. He's just experiencing almost the awakening. Well, essentially the awakening that the Divine Feminine has already been through. The Divine Feminine has already been through, the mud, been dragged through it. The Divine Feminine is out on the other side. We're out here with an open heart, vulnerable, but not stupid, vulnerable because we know that vulnerability leads to getting everything that you want, right? When you're willing to express exactly what you want, it's vulnerable, but essential to getting what you want. And the Divine Masculine, I think, has been trying to acquire his desires through a mental space and not in a heart space. Has kind of been denying his heart space. So let's see what's up. What's up, Divine Masculine? First, I'm going to call in the Divine Archangels, Spirit Guides, spiritual team of everyone that is enjoying this video at this very moment and in the future to come. Thank you all so much for being here, for bringing your heart, your light, your wisdom, and your grace. I appreciate you all. I'm grateful, thankful. All right. I'm going to grab one oracle card, and that's just going to kind of set the tone, set the theme for the reading. And we're just going to see how long this goes. I started this video at 11:11. Wasn't really intending on it. Just kind of happened that way. But again, I just felt so immediately called. So here we go. All right, we have number 24, wellness. So this silhouette here, you see the sacred flower of life, right? The sacred geometry sort of in the background here. I think that the Divine Masculine is really starting to scratch the surface of his own fifth, dimensional self. And there's a sword here. You see these two hands grasping a sword. It's like the ace, the divine connection. He's connecting in. I think he's reached a point where he understands that he can't do this alone. What he's going through, what he's feeling on an emotional level. I think he's been pushing it away for so long that it's become the greatest burden he's ready to release. I think he's at a point where his emotions have become so heavy that he really just wants to surrender to the universe. And you see this aura of light is making a heart shape. The divine is just like saying love's the answer. Love's the answer. Don't get ahead of yourself. And I think that's what he's starting to realize as he's gotten so ahead of himself. He's allowed himself to make decisions from his head, from his mind, and not from his heart. And he's at a space where all of those things, all of those decisions have really not worked out. And so he is in a place of surrender, and he's releasing it to the divine and just really looking for higher love. But I'm going to read from the secret language of light, just to give us a good place to start. All right. Wellness. Tune into your body. You're entering a time when your body will become stronger. If you've been or are sick, you are on your way to feeling better. Begin to focus on a sense of well-being. If you're healthy, you will be inspired to strengthen your body through yoga or another form of exercise. Your body is enlightened and knows how to heal itself. Every feeling, be it pain, butterflies, or excitement, or love, as a message from one part of the self to another. Wow. Tune in to your body through meditation and ask what you can do to improve your well-being. Behind the human is the image of the flower of life, a symbol that represents the process of creation. It is made up of overlapping circles that are a repeating expression of the first circle. It is a geometric metaphor reminding us that the nature of life is continual expansion. Your body takes you everywhere you go, so acknowledge, think, and love it. Yeah, I think he's really starting to understand that regardless of what he's done or what he plans to do in the future, things are just continuing just to move forward. So if he's holding on to something or if he's resisting something, it's kind of futile. It is an act of futility to resist. So I really truly feel like he is in a state of surrender. All right, wonderful. All right. King of Wands here at the bottom of the deck. Focused, fixed gaze. But the King of Wands is also, his gaze is oriented sort of in the past. I think he's really in a state of review, recognizing what has happened in the past, what has transpired, and really moving from a heart space. The King of Wands wants what he wants, and he doesn't question what he wants. In fact, what he wants, his desires, he understands are a guide. When he wants something, he doesn't question it. He doesn't question, why do I want this woman? Or why do I want this or that? It's just, I do. So therefore it is for me. But that is simply of the King of Wands. The Knight or the Page or the Queen, it might be more murky. But for the King, he is at the peak of the suit. He is completely understanding of his own desires. And I think he has high desire for his feminine. He has high desire for his divine feminine. And he's looking in the past, because he's already experienced his divine feminine. And I think he's in a place where he doesn't have his divine feminine, so he's very fixated on what has already happened. And he sees that what he wants is actually, behind him. Maybe what he wants isn't necessarily in his future, but is something that he needs to return to. So let's see what comes out. Thank you, Divine. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Spirit Guides, Archangels, for all of your wisdom. We're looking for truth and clarity. We're looking for peace of mind. We don't want to just hear what we want to hear. We want to hear the truth. because the truth sets us free, and the truth allows us to move forward and take progressive steps in the right direction. So let us know what you got here. Okay. Four of Wands in the reverse. Hang on. Hang on. Four of Wands in the reverse. I think he's really just reviewing it all. Justice in the reverse. All right, now it makes sense. Okay. I'm going to do a 9-card spread. And Judgment. Chariot in reverse in the past position. Judgment is grounding his present moment. Justice in the reverse. And 10 of Swords in the future. Nine of Swords sitting above the Chariot reversed. Anxiety about not moving. The Sun sitting right above the 10 of Swords. And I'm just seeing the yellow. I'm only seeing the yellow here. This is the new day. The new day rising. I think between the divine masculine and the divine feminine, there has been a truly painful, the most painful ending that could possibly happen. All of these swords in this man's back have been felt so deeply and so entirely. But it's the 10. He has thought all the thoughts. He's thought all the thoughts. He's convinced himself of every excuse, every reason to end, every reason to just release and move forward. But still, within this 10 of Swords, again, all I see is this yellow here, indicative of the Sun. There's something here. There's some beautiful light, even in amidst all of this darkness. This beautiful light that he has not been able to ignore, that he's not been able to release. Even in this man's state. Appears dead, appears quite deceased. But yet, there's just this level of joy, of bliss that has been experienced that just can't be replicated. Hasn't been able to. And I think that's the 10 of Swords, I think, is just showing his surrender. Just truly this surrender. This I think the 4 of Wands reversed is more indicative of instability, right? Whereas 4 of Wands upright shows partnership, shows union, shows support, unconditional love. But here in the reverse, he's not experiencing that. It is directly in the center of the reading. It is the most important thing to him, is this sense of stability and unconditional love. Justice reversed, sitting right above it, crowning this 4 of Wands reversed. He feels like life has done him an injustice. He doesn't understand why life has dealt him the cards that he's looking at. This was not supposed to fail. His connection with his divine feminine was not supposed to fail. But here we are, Judgment, sitting beneath the 4 of Wands reversed. Here we are. And nevertheless, this ending is coming to pass. Death. Yeah, I think he's trying to force feed himself, swallow this ending. It's because he's been telling himself in a mental space that it's for the best. He's been telling himself that Releasing the divine feminine will propel and support his momentum moving forward. But again, in the future position, the Ten of Swords. There's this man. Does this man look like he's getting up anytime soon? Does this man look like he's going anywhere? Not really. And I think this is how the revelation, judgment. There's no movement forward. He needs to go back. Again, just sort of going back to the King of Wands that was sitting underneath the deck to begin the reading. His gaze is fixated in the past. His gaze is focused on returning, to that love, to that unconditional love that he feels, but he resists because he's never felt it. He doesn't believe in it. He hasn't believed in it. There's something about the divine masculine. His heart has not experienced the level of unconditional love that his divine feminine has for him. The divine feminine has been sitting on the sidelines with this unconditional love, right? Loving him regardless, and it's been extremely painful, to have unconditional love without reciprocity. Takes courage, it takes strength, it takes tenacity, and it takes faith. But it's such a elevated experience. I think the divine feminines are really leading the charge here with that unconditional love, because it's not just for the divine masculine. I think the divine feminines are also just in her day-to-day, in minor interactions with whoever's in her daily experience. I think that she's feeling this empathy and this compassion just for everyone around her. She sees people, in her workplace, experiencing negative emotions or dark emotions, and maybe they're not expressing it overtly, but she can feel it. And she just wants to hug people. She just wants to hug people and let them know that everything is going to be okay. Because that's truly how she feels. She's deeply embedded in her faith. She's deeply, deeply, deeply trusting of her own unconditional love. And the divine masculine has been telling himself over and over and over and over and over and over and over again that it's just not love. It's not love. He doesn't know what love is. Yet. Let's see. Let's finish off this 9-card spread. Thank you, divine masculine. 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, there's something in the past that was just, maybe it was overlooked. There was something that was stepped over. Okay. So we have the 3 of Pentacles here and the Wheel of Fortune reversed with the Devil reversed, which is just indicating that I'm just hearing codependency. The divine feminine has done so much to overcome her own codependent behaviors, her own codependent patterns, to the point where she is free. Let's pull one card. I'm just going to pull one card just to, the divine feminine's overall energy. It's the Magician. She knows when to step in, and she knows when to take the back seat. She knows when to speak, and she knows when to say nothing. Silence is powerful. I'm hearing just silence is powerful. Inaction is an action. And I think that has been her greatest move. Her greatest asset is just her own discernment. She knows that she has all of the tools to make manifest her dreams, but her greatest tool is her own inaction. Her greatest tool is just sitting back, having faith, expressing that unconditional love. The Magician essentially did come out reversed, but I flipped it upright just to get a good look at it, but it makes so much more sense. The Magician reversed, there's nothing that she can do. She's already done it. Everything, if you're sitting here as a divine feminine, you've done it all. You don't need to do another goddamn thing. I swear to God, baby, you've done it all. All you need to do is trust at this point. What's meant for you is coming. But again, you gotta look. You gotta look at the astrology, and it's really easy to lose sight if you're not aware of what's going on with the spinning planets, in our solar system. Venus went retrograde first in Gemini, right, over the summer. Do you recall the energies from July, from the eclipse in July leading into August? Those were hard. Those were very, very, very hard months. That was your awakening. If you're not already aware, I'm sure that you are now. I mean, let's be real. But then we got to see the divine masculine, right? Mars went retrograde in September and just now went direct. The awakening happens after the direct motion. We experience everything that needs to be chopped down from, throughout that retrograde period. And when that planet moves forward, that's where we start to grasp the things, the lessons, the revelations are to come. And Mars is still in the exact degree that he's stationed direct. Mars is still at 15 degrees. Mars is still inching, crawling forward. So give it time. But I'm sitting here and I'm telling you, divine feminine, if he has picked up another woman, if he has been entertaining someone else, it's not going anywhere. Okay? He wants it to, again, because he's told himself that the relationship with the divine feminine is over. But there's discontent here. There's injustice. This is what the divine masculine is going through right now. This is in the present space. This is how the spread looks right now. 4 of Wands reversed, justice reversed. I mean, can we be honest about just this alone? Shit don't feel right. All right. So the devil has just been a monkey on this man's back. He has not been able to move forward. There's been no forward motion because he's not quite released the things that he's needed to release. He's just sitting here, just like half breathing. These swords are all imaginary, right? These swords are all in his head. These are not real. This man is not dead. Think of it as this man just laying on the ground with these imaginary swords in his back, and people just looking at him like, yo, get up. What are you doing? You're looking really weird. But he's been telling himself thousands of times over and over and over and over and over again, trying to give himself every reason to continue to walk away. But the motion, I mean, the Wheel of Fortune reversed, the Devil reversed is not a stable ground at all. There's no substance here. The universe is not giving him the joy, is not giving him, the people that are in his life are just showing him just vapid conversation. It just lacks, it just lacks substance. There's no taste, there's no flavor in his life right now. And it all rests in his divine feminine, but he knows it's going to take, he's got to swallow pride. Again, that King of Wands that popped up at the bottom of the deck. So much pride in this man. But let's go back to the past position. We have the Chariot here, crowned by the Chariot reversed, crowned by the Nine of Swords, and grounded by the Three of Pentacles. He's been reverting back to square one. Where did shit go wrong? And I think he's been doing a lot of self-blaming. But, I think he sees the feminine. He sees the divine feminine as, it's not that he's been telling himself that, something is wrong with the divine feminine. He's just been telling himself that it's for the best. Yeah. He's just saying it's for the best. We just need to move on. How many people have I dated in my past? It was hard, but then I got over it, and then I met somebody new and experienced joy. So, it's just part of the process, right? He's just telling himself it's part of the process, and I'll get over it. She'll get over it. It's all good. But nobody's getting over it. And that's the problem, right? The future position. The future position is forward movement. Again, this man is not going anywhere. There's no forward movement. The universe is absolutely blocking it, right? Because there are strings attached. It's like the Devil upright. It's like, yes, you're attached, but it's toxic. And so the Devil reversed, I kind of see it as like the Devil reversed then makes me think of the Lovers, whereas like the Lover reversed makes me think of the Devil. So it's like this attachment, and he's not seeing it in this divine way. He's just saying it as like, I can't let go of this woman. I swear to God, I tell myself all day long, just forget about her. Just forget about her. And he's like, maybe he's actively having sex or just, entertaining other people. And I really straight up don't mean to trigger you, but it could very well be the case. But it's like every sexual interaction that he has, it's just like, you kind of have sex with somebody and you're like, kind of your body just feels guilty. Maybe having zero reason to feel guilty, but your body is just like, why did I do that? That's exactly what he's been feeling. To the point where he feels like it's physically blocking him from getting up, and moving forward. But crowned by the Sun, I think this man is kind of secretly indulging in plans for the future with his divine feminine in secret. I really truly don't think that he's expressing this to anyone. I think when he is vocal, when he is expressing, if, his boy's asking him, so what's up with, obviously he's not going to say, what's up with your divine feminine? But in whatever your name is, what's up with girl, he's just saying, oh, it's over, it's all good, we're moving forward, whatever. But secretly he's sitting there like, this was the happiest time of my life. How do you recreate that? These are like direct opposites. How do you recreate the Sun? How do you resurrect something like this once it's dead? So, as far as he's told himself. And so 10 of Pentacles sitting here at the bottom of the deck, I think that he's telling himself that he needs to be perfect. Like he needs to have it all. If he's going to approach the divine feminine, he wants to trump every motherfucker that's come across, that's been flirting with you, that you've been talking to. And at this point, I'm kind of just generally assuming that you as a divine feminine are in separation with your divine masculine. I think that's the trend. It's sort of like this wave of unions that are happening right now, right? In separation. But he's really, truly focusing on getting to the 10 of Pentacles. And I think that he's seeing, and I'm seeing the connection here with the 10 of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles. He's saying that there is no movement forward. How the hell am I going to get to this 10 of Pentacles without my divine feminine? Is this even possible? Whoever he's with right now, it's not matching up. it doesn't even feel right. It feels guilty. It feels guilty. And not in like a moral sense, but in just like a chemical and like a chemistry sense. Like I just don't even feel chemistry with this person, you know? Because he has something to compare it to. It's like he feels like, God damn, maybe he even feels like he wish he never met his divine feminine. Because again, he's telling himself over and over and over and over and over again, it's done, it's over, we're not going back. But again, it's in his heart. He can't move forward. You're on his mind. You come up while he's having sex with other people. And he feels guilty about that. And he doesn't know how to change it. He doesn't know how to shake it. Wow. Yeah, I'm I'm hearing that he has to think about his divine feminine to get up. Oh my god. To get it up, he's got to think about his divine feminine. Damn. Yeah, I think that yeah, okay, now I'm really starting to feel this 10 of swords more. He's ready to give up. He's just ready to give up. Because I think, again, if he is actively engaging in sex or is sort of like trying to start anew with somebody else, I mean, depending on when your relationship with your divine masculine broke apart, I don't know how much time has passed, but if enough time has passed where maybe he's picked up another relationship, I think he's at a point where he's like, I can't do this shit anymore. Like, and I think that if he, again, that other person is starting to feel intuitively. Women are very intuitive, and I think that this other woman is starting to feel like this man is not present with me. Whenever we have sex, he's just not there. Or maybe maybe the sex is just really not happening. Yeah, devil reversed, Wheel of Fortune reversed, screeching halt. You know, sure the devil's dark, but the devil's also extremely sexy. You know, the devil's also like extremely lustful. But reverse is like, I don't know, man. I don't even know why I'm here. I feel tied to you, but I don't even want to be here. You know, a lot of the times the devil, it's like, I just can't help it. I'm obsessed. I'm addicted. I want to be here more than anything, more than absolutely anything. You're addicted. But reverse, it's like, I'm here and I can't seem to leave, but I don't want to be here. Wheel of Fortune reversed. You know, when is the S energy going to shift? When are things going to change? How do I change? Judgment. Three of Pentacles. I'm just saying that this is foundational. This is the blocks that he's coming up against can't really be overcome because the blocks that he's facing are fundamental issues with compatibility. All right, let's grab some clarifiers. I'm going to use the Aquarian Tarot, and we're just going to whip through. We got the Chariot at the bottom of the deck. Usually I like to... Okay, so yeah, so Chariot reversed in the past position. Usually I use just randomly. I shuffle this deck all day long. I use it all the time. I don't really pay attention to the card that I leave at the bottom of the deck, but I always, 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 always use it to clarify the center of the deck. And so Chariot reverse or Chariot upright. In the past, things came to a screeching halt. At this point, all he can focus on is moving forward. And the crucial key elements to his forward momentum have everything to do with addressing this Four of Wands reversed. Instability. Or connection that isn't divine. You know, it just feels like happenstance, you know, just kind of entertaining another body to feel connection. but it isn't divine and it doesn't feel like union. And he wants to dip. Like he just wants to leave and never look back. And then I have the Six of Wands here. So we have the four, and the 6, so that's a 2 of Wands. He's plotting. He's really looking at the big picture here, right? The 2 of Wands depicts an individual at a standstill, looking at a globe, really trying to grasp, where have I been? Where am I going? Where could I be? Where do I want to be? You know, who do I want to be with? Before I take another step, I need to figure this shit out. Thank you, Divine. Thank you, Divine Masculine. Thank you, Divine Feminine. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Got one more clarifier here. Yep. 8 of Swords. Damn. 8 of Swords, King of Swords, and Death is peeking out. He's thinking all the thoughts. He's just, and I don't really see this as like a negative. I see this as, okay, no, I need to get this right. I really need to look at every angle here. I think this is self-imposed. I'm not getting like a super negative vibe off of this. I'm just getting this as like, okay, he's like brainstorming. Yeah, I'm just getting like brainstorming. Okay, how do I get out of this? One, how do I break it off with this unholy union? You know, how do I break it off with this just dead body in my bed? Damn, that sucks. That's a really shitty energy. That's not good for anybody. And you know what, straight up, I feel really bad for whoever he is entertaining. I'm sure that she feels like absolute shit right now. I'm sure that she feels it, you know, throughout her whole body. This man is just not here. This man he's here, but he ain't here. You know, I'm sure she feels this just as much as he is. But she's feeling in this negative way, thinking all the worst thoughts. Whereas he's just trying to GTFO, you know? King of Swords, exactly. And Death here peeking out. He's just thinking extremely logically. He is not, you know, using his heart here in terms of he's trying to figure out. He literally just wants the step by step. How do I get myself out of the situation? What are the key words that I need to say, you know, to break this off, you know, with whoever he's connecting with at this moment, this unholy union? How do I break off this unholy union? And how do I move forward to regain the holy union that I'm now starting to understand by contrast, you know? But truly, Divine Feminine, you need to understand, as hard as this has been, this has needed to happen, okay? Because it's all been developing the perspective. He needs to understand that his connection with you is not like anything else. You know, it's not just a relationship. It is a union. It is a union that is going to propel each of you forward in your own independent ways. Right? And he's felt that. He has felt inexplicably driven, motivated, hungry when he was with you. And he felt like it was just him. And it was. But it was because of you. And you felt that too. You felt this just relentless optimism, this just contentment, this peace in your heart when you kissed this man, when you made love with this man. It just felt like it could last forever. How do you compare that? Yeah, he is definitely in his head. So you have the King of Swords here, who in this deck is oriented in the past as well. Typically, the King of Swords is looking at you head on, but in this deck, he's looking in the past as well. He's fixated about analyzing what has gone down, and then death again peeking out. All of this thinking, all of this thinking, all of this thinking, each thought, he's recognizing a pattern. The thoughts that are coming up most often are now becoming solid beliefs, solid truths that he has no choice to accept. And it's transforming him. This is the process. These things that he keeps hitting against, right? These truths that maybe he's been resisting and resisting and resisting, but they've been persisting and persisting and persisting. He's accepting it now, because you can't continue to deny what is really true. And what's really true is going to persist. Thank you, Divine. Thank you, Holy Spirit. All right. Clarifying justice reversed is the Page of Swords. Okay. So typically with the Page of Swords, I get an observer energy, but with this, I'm just getting blunt honesty. The Page of Swords is not very eloquent. I think that is his tactic, though, because we did have the King of Swords sitting at the bottom of the deck. I think in his King of Swords, he is resolving to use his Page of Swords energy to conclude, to wrap it up with this other person, right? And I think that's been her energy, because again, she's feeling this intuitive disconnect with him, and I'm sure she's been expressing in her own way, because she's feeling maybe rejected, maybe forgotten, compared to, and doesn't feel good to anybody, but I think that he's at this point where he's just got to say it. He just got to say it. He just wants to say it when he's drunk. I'm hearing I don't know what this is. I don't ever pick that up about the Page of Swords, but maybe he just wants a blowout. He just wants to trigger. He just wants to push the wrong buttons intentionally so that shit falls apart. That's wrong, man. The World, the Tower, and Justice upright. Peeking out here. Yeah. Exactly. He wants to burn this shit to the ground. He wants this shit to wrap up. Look at this. I mean, this is typically how I read. I just kind of flip the deck over and cards just kind of peek out. The World, Tower, and Justice to clarify justice reversed. That's exactly what I just said. He wants to wrap it up. He wants to blow this shit up. Dynamite, man. At this point, it doesn't even matter. I think things have kind of already been extremely rocky. It's like there's no flavor in the kiss. And it's, when you're kissing someone and it's like, oh my God, it's just really in it. You're like, ugh. But with your Divine Masculine, it's like, oh my God, it's like tasting God. Oh, wow, that's a lot. That's extra. But you know what I mean. They just ain't comparing. Yeah, okay. So let's clarify judgment here at the bottom. Well, let's do one more. Let's see. Let's look at one more for this blunt communication. What is he? What is he really planning on saying? Oh. The Six of Cups. And the Tower at the bottom. He can't look past it anymore. The first thing that he thinks about when he wakes up and the last thing he thinks about when he goes to sleep is his femme. It's what consoles him, because it was the love of all loves. What's more consoling than unconditional love, especially if you've never felt it before and you haven't felt it since? It's going to be on your mind. And it's been on your mind, so trust and believe it's been on his. Justice reversed. It ain't right if it ain't with his divine feminine. So, the tower. And the moon right underneath that. He just can't deny his emotions. He can't deny his emotions because whoever he's been with has been trying to extract him emotionally, trying to extract some sort of emotional reciprocity, but it hasn't been there. There's no reciprocity. And so everything is just coming to light. Everything is just bubbling up, you know? All right. Let's clarify judgment. And it's not to say whoever he's been with is a bad person. Maybe she's a pre-divine femme, but it's just not with your divine masculine. Maybe this is, recall all of the situation, all of the relationships that you had in your past. That wasn't your divine masculine, and you weren't a divine feminine for that person either. So it's all a process, and it sucks to go through, but this is as much for her as it is for him. Let's talk about higher love, man. It ain't about bashing anyone. I'm sure this girl is a beautiful woman, There's something about this woman that attracted your man to him. But also know that nobody compares to you. In the eyes of your divine masculine, nobody compares to the divine feminine. Always has been, always will be. It just is. And this is just the process of awakening. And you really, the contrast is truly what solidifies it all. How do you know what you have, right? It's like you don't know what you have until it's gone, right? There's just mad truth to that. And it sucks. Whoop. All right. King of Swords came out to clarify judgment. That's exactly it. He is using his own judgment. He can't deny this shit anymore, man. It is grounding this energy here. It is grounding the Four of Swords, or the Four of Wands reversed. This shit just ain't right. He can't get out of his head. He can't get into his heart because everything is wrong and he's trying to figure it out. He's not in his heart because he's not with his divine feminine. There's something about the divine masculine that is very King of Swords, is super intelligent, smart, practical, aware. But without his divine feminine, this is all he has. With his divine feminine, he's the emperor, right? Because with your divine masculine, you are the empress. I'm not saying that you need him to be the empress, but think about it. It's like the emperor makes the empress, and the empress makes the emperor. Until then, you're just the embodiment of all, the suits. So King of Swords here. He can't deny it anymore. Judgment is here upright. The divine is not letting him get away with this. The divine is absolutely consumed his mental space. Two of Cups. Consumed his mental space about not only his connection with the divine feminine, but with this connection with, what do we call it in tarot world? The karmic. But there's just like a negative connotation. I really don't want to shed negative light on this other person. Because if you love your divine masculine, right, and he can show up for somebody else, then there was something there. There was something special about this woman. Accept that. Swallow that. Digest it. Your man is a powerful man. Your man is a very attractive man. But, talk about this unconditional love. That is what he needs. That is what is going to bring him back to your heart. He can feel you energetically. He can feel you loving him, even though he feels like he is unlovable. And he feels unlovable. He feels unloved. He doesn't have love to give, nor is he open to receive it. He doesn't want love from this woman, from this other woman. She is desperately trying to give it to him, but he just is like, he just doesn't feel it. You know, he's aware of it, but the more he's like aware of this woman trying to give him her love that he doesn't want, the more it repulses him. Where on the other side, on the flip side, he feels his divine feminine is like good. You know, he's like, the way he sees his feminine, his divine feminine, again, because he's telling himself it's over, it's over, it's over. It's because his divine feminine is straight up good right now. And he's sort of comparing himself to that. He's like, no, 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 no. Like, I need to project myself like I'm good. But in all reality, it's because the divine feminine has already gone through this process. The divine feminine has already worked through all this bullshit. Death at the bottom of the deck. That's exactly it. The divine masculine is where you were. I'm just gonna throw it out there 2 months ago. Okay, but think about how much you've learned in that 2 months. You know, so many revelations. All right, and then the Four of Pentacles here. So I think he is just bringing it down to basics. He's looking at the situation extremely practically. He's seeing what isn't working, why it's not working, and there's just no reason to hang on to it if it isn't essential, right? And there's nothing essential about this other woman, you know? It's just a warm body in the bed. And the divine masculine desperately, 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 desperately wants that connection, that warmth, that love, but it ain't there with this woman. This woman wants, she's giving it, she's giving it, she's giving it, but he just doesn't feel it. It's almost like, you know, her love has a frequency, has a code, but in order to enter the divine masculine, it has to match his code. And they're not matches. They're just not matches. But neither of them are aware of really how that works. And I think this other woman is okay. Venus just moved into Scorpio. Shit's about to get mad emotional, explosive even. Right? She's about to expose a lot of dark, deep, hidden emotions to this man. And I think that's exactly that's the trigger point. She is going to lay down on the line. I'm hearing ultimatum. And he's just going to say, perfect, great, I'm done then. Oh, sugar shit. All right, let's clarify Chariot reversed here. Oh, peeker. Yep, Eight of Cups. Wanting to move on, but not able to move forward. So trying to move on, like telling himself, I'm moving on. But in physical reality, there is no forward movement, or there has been no forward movement. And again, Nine of Swords sitting here at the top and Temperance here at the bottom. It's like it's going to continue to be dragged out until he has this massive revelation. And it's just by process of comparison. And that sucks. That sucks for everybody. But it just is what it is. And then the Three of Cups here. Yeah, I think the substance with this other person has kind of been situated. Maybe it feels more like friends. You know? It feels more like this is just someone that I can, bounce ideas off of, someone that I can just connect with over drinks. Maybe they're just kind of drinking buddies. Maybe, they've engaged sexually, but it just, again, like I said, that code isn't matching up. and it's a little repulsive to continue to have sex with somebody who you don't continue to feel a deeper and deeper connection with every time, right? I mean, think of all the sexual exploits, the random, whatever. I mean, maybe I'm maybe that ain't you, but you have sex with someone and just you're sort of getting to know them and filling them out, and then at a certain point it's like, this really isn't my vibe. And so shit just kind of fades out, right? The Hierophant. Yeah, this is an impasse. He's met an impasse with this other person. And she is not taking it well. But he hasn't been able to find the words. And he's been using it as sort of like a pacifier. This woman has acted as a pacifier for this man, as a warm body in the bed, as just someone to connect to sort of take his mind off of this turmoil, this churning. I'm just, again, saying this black and this 9 of Swords, 10 of Swords, and the Devil. Dark, 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 dark mental energy, and revolving around the ending with his divine feminine. Breaking up with you is affected him in a way that he's never experienced. I think he thought he had breakups down to a formula. It's like, I'm over it. Turn off the switch, keep it moving. And I think he definitely tried to play that with you. He definitely tried to turn off the switch, but he's like flipping the switch, but the light ain't turning off. Flick, 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 flick. Again, just seeing this yellow, this light here at this, in this 10 of Swords. So let's clarify this here. Tell me about the 10 of Swords in the future position. Yep, High Priestess. There's just something within him. He just can't ignore it. On the surface, he's telling himself it's over, it's over, it's over. But beneath the surface, he feels you. He feels you so immensely that it's almost like, when you're going through so much pain, you just want it to be over. Like, when you're watching a movie, obviously none of us here alive have actually experienced it, but when you're watching a movie and someone's being tortured, they just want it, you hear a character say, just end it. Just kill me, right? Just kill me. That's freaking morbid, but in an emotional sense, like, he's just been saying to himself, like, just kill it. Just kill it already. Just end it already. But it can't be. Yeah, Page of Cups here, 6 of Pentacles. Because every time he tells himself that it's done, it's over, there's another thought that pops into his head that gives him hope that he could find reconnection. Again, Page of Cups, 6 of Pentacles. That the scales can be rebalanced. That there is something to do. There is something that he can do. He just gets these ideas in his head. They just come to him like downloads. Ideas of how to re-enter, right? How to correct the wrongs that happened with his divine feminine. To resurrect. For every thought he has about to solidify this ending with his divine feminine, for every thought he has that this is over, he has another thought about how to resurrect it. And it's torturing him. But he feels you. In the 5D, the divine masculine and the divine feminine are in union. And they always will be. And I think that that's truly where the divine feminine has been able to experience her unconditional love. To give her unconditional love has all been through the 5D. So these thoughts of resurrection are a result of your unconditional love. He feels your unconditional love. He tells himself in his mental space, it's over. But in his heart space, he feels this joy, this And maybe it comes to him in his dream space, or maybe it's like literally the first thought that pops into his head. And you probably feel this too. This first thought that pops into your head the moment you wake up is you, and it's this energy. When he thinks about his divine feminine, or when these heartfelt moments, when he like truly is hit with your unconditional love, this is how he feels. Can you please clarify? Let's see. One more for the 10 of Swords here and the High Priestess. Yep, 6 of Pentacles. It already came out, so that's fair. Or it already came out to clarify. So yeah, it's again, it's like I'm just seeing again, equal and opposite. For every thought that he has that it's over, he has a thought for how to resurrect it, and it's torturing him. The Empress coming out to clarify the 9 of Swords. He is consumed with thoughts of you. Up at night. He's thinking about you right now. 12-12. I've been seeing 12-12 a lot. Wow. That's deep. 2 of Rods here again, which kind of was referenced between the 4 and the 6 of Wands, is the 2. He's plotting. He is up at night. Okay, so think of this. I think when we see the 9 of Swords, we see this as like, not a good time. This ain't a place I want to be. But for every card, it has its positive and negative aspects. And the 9 of Swords can just be thoughts. Lots of thoughts, obsessive thoughts about this sexy woman who is not just sexy. She is everything. Nobody compares to this Empress. And if you've lost somebody that nobody else compares to, you're sure as hell going to feel this. Let's get one more here for the 9 of Swords. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if he's been engaging or having or trying to meet up with other people or develop connections with other people, he's thinking that you're doing the same thing. 5 of Wands, competition. He is thinking, oh my God, I have let my Empress go and she is just having to beat him off with a stick. Of course she's getting flooded with people. Of course she's getting flooded with attention. She is the goddamn Empress. And I think that he's starting to see like time's a ticking. And I've been investing time and energy into connection that now I'm seeing is just been a waste of time. And all of this time that I've been wasting, it's like she's getting eaten up. She's getting eaten up by the wolves, and not in like a negative way, but it's like you're over here like living your best. You're fine as hell. The divine feminine is fine as hell. Are you kidding me? And he sees you, I don't know if y'all have had any communication. Social media is a thing. I'm sure as hell he's been, looking at your posts and watching the comments that come flooding in, right? Your ego's, you're feeling fine. Your ego is rejuvenated at this point. Your awakening has rejuvenated your ego. Your ego took a mad hit after this, amidst this breakup. But right now, you're good. You good, and he knows it. And so he ain't good. But that's fine. He needs to see that. He needs to see that you are hot. that you are hot commodity. You know, you are what everybody wants. And he had that. And now he's seeing all of these people, all of these fine gentlemen, you know, looking for your attention. Regardless of whether or not you're actually giving them your attention, it's like, whatever, you do you. You know, you play you. You know, you play your own cards, Divine Feminine. You communicate to your own Divine Masculine, be it in the 5D or the 3D. You use your own discernment. And if you're sitting here as the Divine Feminine, and I trust and believe that you are, you know, your discernment, I think, trumps many others. When looking for advice, I mean, go to your people, but at the end of the day, if it doesn't feel right in your heart, then it doesn't feel right in your heart. You know, your heart is your own guide. It's super powerful, especially when you're sitting here as a Divine Feminine. Never doubt your intuition. Never, ever, ever doubt your discernment. All right. Let's clarify here. The Sun. I just saw the 9 of Cups pop out. And we got the 10 of Cups. Y'all, you can't make this shit up. This is those hits when he feels your unconditional love. This is how he feels, and he can't explain it because he's not experiencing it in the 3D. He's only experiencing it in the 5D. But there's no comparing to this. And this can only be felt as a Divine Masculine. This can only be felt with your Divine Feminine. And he's already tasted it because he's already tasted his Divine Feminine. But it's the same for you. And that's why you're out here looking up videos about your Divine Masculine, because you know this, right? And you're just sitting here like, shit. Nobody compares. And you're already sitting here like, I know nobody compares, so I'm not going to waste my energy, you know, on just some fuckboy or just, you know, whatever. I'm not just looking for a warm body in the bed. I'll take my own space, thanks. Because that's energy. That's precious. Your energy is precious, especially your sexual energy. So that is mutual AF. That 10 of Cups Sun energy. Yeah. And then I just saw the 9 of Pentacles. And so he sees you in your state as of present. I mean, maybe he witnessed you go through emotional times, right? Through your breakup. But he saw you persevered. He saw you how you transmuted that pain. And now you're as powerful as you've ever been. Truly, he sees you as powerful. Wow. 10 of Swords popped up again. Yeah. King of Wands and the Lovers. Y'all, I can't make this shit up. Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. It's just true, and he feels it so deeply. It is in his heart. There's no denying it. The King of Rods, it's like I'm just hearing the heart wants what the heart wants. The mind can tell you a million different things, but at the end of the day, all of those thoughts are going to get struck down because they're false. What's true is in the heart. What's true is in the heart. The heart wants what the heart wants. This is all one energy, y'all. This is amazing. This is how, okay, when he feels your unconditional love in the 5D, this is what he feels. And this is what he can't deny. This is what he can no longer deny. All right, let's wrap this up. Woo. Minute 9 or an hour 9. Shoot. All right. 3 of Pentacles. What is his foundation looking at? Knight of Wands. Yeah. It's really coming down to that passion, that passionate spark. And he had that with you, but he thought it was just, you know, luck of the draw. Maybe he thought it was just luck of the draw, the connection with you. But now he's seeing that it's not there. It's fundamental. He needs to feel this way. He needs to feel like he is in hot pursuit of a woman. Otherwise, he don't want it. He wants to feel like he's got a fire under his ass. He loves to chase. But the person he's with right now, he has no desire. It's fundamental. Yeah, the Chariot reversed, the Eight of Cups and the Three of Cups. I think that's just this connection with this other person is really just devolving and feels more like friendship, because there's no passion. And that's truly all he wants. That's what he's coming to terms with, is that spark, that like it's not there. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles. It feels more like Knight of Pentacles. This like slow moving energy. Maybe he's just telling her, I don't want commitment. I just want to, or like maybe he's saying, I do want commitment, but I just kind of want to take it slow. I just want to take my time. And that's understandable. He just got out of a relationship, right? But with you, he was Nine of Wands. I mean, let's be real. Was he the Nine of Wands with you? It came hot and fast. It was like y'all met and it was just in no time at all. In no time at all. It was just, there's no question. There's no thinking about it. There's no practical decision to make. It's just, yes, I want you. Yes, I want you and I want more of you. And that is fundamental to this man. But he's not feeling it. Not right now. Not with this woman. All right. So let's check it out. The Devil and the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Page of Cups and a flipped up reversed. He is not saying what he needs to say. It's like on the tip of his tongue. I'm just getting it's on the tip of his tongue. He just wants to say it. He just wants to like word vomit. I'm hearing like, maybe honestly he'll hit you up in the coming future, like grab a drink, but it's because he wants like that liquid courage so that maybe it will just spill out. Maybe it will just spill out because he's been so blocked by his mental energy that I'm just that surrender that we got with the Light Oracle at the beginning. He just wants an opportunity for him to just release his mental control, release his mental restrictions, and just concede to this attachment that he's tried so desperately to release himself from. But it's not an attachment. It's not a toxic attachment. It's a heart. I mean, what do you call it? It's a inexplicable connection. It's divine connection. It's not attachment. It's divine connection rooted in unconditional love. But he hasn't quite found the words. He wants to say it eloquently. He wants to be in a powerful position when he speaks to you. He wants to be so freaking confident, King of Wands, that when you see him, he wants you to feel like it's irresistible because that's how he feels about you. But the way he sees you at this present moment is that you're like good without him, whether that's true or not, But what's in his heart, it's like, he needs so much courage. And again, I'm just like, that liquid courage, right? Drinking. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, there's too much analyzing and he can't get away from it. The Devil reversed and the Wheel of Fortune reverses exactly this. Over analyzing. No movement forward. There's an attachment. There's an obsession. I mean, look at how closely this man is looking at all of this. They need to get that close. Like you can see him, but he is. He's over analyzing. And let's get one more. And this will kind of be like, yep. It all harkens back to what hits home. What do I need to feel in order to build? What needs to be there from jump in order for me to feel motivated to build? And I think that's really going to be the revelation. The revelation is in this. It's the fundamental need for this just unbridled passion. He had it with you, and he's really starting to feel like he's never going to experience that again. Nine of Swords. Exactly. Leading us right back to this Empress and the Five of Rods energy. He thinks that you're just too far gone. You got so many options. Why would you go back to him when y'all had such a hard falling out? You know? Okay. I'm going to clean this up, and we're going to do just a quick read about what is to come, you know? And it's really hard to give a timeline, but I think with all this energy, it feels like there's just this moment of, you know, there's no going back. Once you make the decision, like, this shit just doesn't feel right. You tried divine masculine. You tried to get over the divine feminine by way of, you know, inviting another body into your bed or inviting another connection into your life. But in the process of doing that, you're just realizing more and more and more, it's now undeniable what you feel for your divine feminine. You've tried to deny it. You've tried to deny it. You've tried to deny it. But now it's undeniable because you feel it so thoroughly that it's now expressing itself in like physical repulsion. Like he's physically repulsed by this other person. Not that this person is repulsive by any means, but it just feels like it's just such a lack of connection that there's just, you can't. It's almost like when you're so full, you can't put another bite of food in your mouth. It's that feeling. It's like, if I do, I'm going to throw up. If I kiss this person, if I like have to have sex with this person, I might throw up. That's really harsh, but it's real. And I've felt that. I've felt that with people, you know, and it speaks nothing to this other person. It just speaks exactly to the mismatch in that like code, right? Okay, Divine Femme, I'm going to channel you right now, and I'm just going to really try to sit with and figure and give you the message that you need to hear so that you can continue to push forward and express your brightest light. So, Divine, Holy Spirit, what does the Divine Feminine need to know? What are some messages that are really going to help her walk in faith and in trust that she is going to reconnect with her Divine Masculine? I mean, need I say more? The Tower, it's all the illusions, the resistance, the everything that isn't working, it's all coming crashing down. All right? If it hasn't come crashing down yet, it will. And maybe it already has, and he's sitting there looking at the rubble. Just kicking the rubble around. Like, the fuck have I been doing? And then now the 4 wands here sitting in the upright. Oh my God, that was the center energy, guys. Reversed about this other person. And it's like the rebuild, right? This is a built structure. This is stability. Everything came crashing down so that it can be rebuilt. And right now, the energy is just, yeah, this revelation. It's not working, and it's not going to continue to build to, it's like if you've been building your castle on this, it's like that's a I don't know if I would buy that plot of land if I'm looking to buy a house. Like that doesn't look too conducive to you know, it's like jagged rocks. It's like a peak of a mountain, like that ain't no place for a home. There's certainly no place, you know, to hang out. People just be jumping out the windows. Okay, one more. What we got, Divine Femmes? The Star and the Seven of Swords reversed. So again, there's positive and negative aspects to every card. The Seven of Swords I see as like kind of like transient energy. You show up, but you don't really have the intention of staying, or you know, like you have Seven of Swords upright is like, I'm kind of just looking to get out of this what I want, you know, very selfish energy. But reversed with the Star, I think you starting what's happening is a reflection on the past, shadiness that went down, and a true honest reflection of you know what came to pass as a result. And when you're truly honest with yourself, I think, yeah, that's exactly how you could read this. Seven of Swords upright would be dishonesty, right? Deceit. So in the reverse, it's like coming full circle, looking at your deceit and seeing the truth by contrast. The Star. Your wish is already here, man. You know, the healing, your star is already here, Divine Masculine. Yep. But you got to go back to get her. You got to go back to get her. Because this, as a Divine Feminine, it's like you experience the full embodiment of self when you're in union with your Divine Masculine, and vice versa. It's not to say that you're not whole without each other, but the experience of yourself is amplified by your counterpart. And when you are a divine counterpart, it's just a matter of time. So I'm going to leave you with that. You guys, the Tower is coming down. And I just want to emphasize that whatever's happening in the Divine Masculine's life, it's not for you to get wrapped up in or to obsess about. You know, I think it's healthy to, you know, especially if you have really nothing to go off of in the 3D and you're living so much in the 5D, or you're expressing so much in the 5D, you know, I think it's natural to look for validation, or just to look for, yeah, it's because the 5D is so intangible. The 3D is literally tangibility. So don't overwork yourself. Don't overthink yourself either. You know, the heart wants what the heart wants. The heart is going to persist. And a lot of times it's going to feel like obsession. But handle it however you can, because you have the power. You're divine. And I'm out here, I'm with you, and I truly am grateful to be sharing this energy with you, because as a Divine Feminine, sitting where I am, really looking to embrace unconditional love, it feels better than ever. And it sure as hell feels better than it has in these past couple weeks. So stay strong, you guys. Continue to just do what inspires you, you know. Connect with people that make you laugh. Connect with people that make you feel beautiful. And, you know, allow whatever connections that come into your life, let them in, because you are high vibe right now. You are high vibe. And whoever you meet, even if it's just someone in passing, they have something valuable to offer you, to offer your perspective. And if it boosts your confidence, all the better. All right. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, everybody buys and sells based on other people's confidence, right? When you buy something from somebody, it's because they're pretty confident in what they're selling. So take that with you. Be confident. Not to say you need to sell anything, but people want to buy what you have to offer. And that's straight up. And that's just because you're divine. That's not for everybody. That's just for you. So I love you. And be well. Stay tuned. I'm going to be out here. All right. Thanks again. Y'all have a great night.